What it do, baby? It's your boy Enrico, and I'm back again. This time I came to holler at y'all about the beef that started between Shannon Sharp and Shaquille O'Neal. Now, if y'all don't know, which I'm pretty sure y'all do, because I'm a couple of days behind this story, didn't really want to talk about it, but I decided, why not? Let me give y'all my 2 cents about this real quick. And I got a little different angle. Like I said, I'm not going to be too long on this. Just going to give my 2 cents. Shaq was on a TNT show with Kenny, Charles, EJ, as usual. And the night that Jokic was announced to be the winner of the 2024 Most Valuable Player award, he as tradition, whoever wins the award, does an interview on TNT. And so, before Jokic actually came on the show with the set, they had a discussion about the MVP, and Shaq made it clear that he felt like SGA was actually the winner of the MVP award. Now, I actually happened to share that opinion with Shaq before the awards were announced. I made it clear, that was my opinion. That I feel like SGA actually won the award. I'm really thinking about making a video about why he should have won the award, and my main reasons was because, the leap that his team took, that he led his team to take. They had a 15-game difference between last year and this year. Obviously they improved. They improved 15 games, so he had a huge part to do with that. Jokic, numbers wise, he was great with his numbers, but he didn't do nothing that we haven't seen him done before. His team didn't even finish number one in the league or his conference. So, he had a great year, not taking nothing away from what Jokic did, but I also felt that SGA should have won. He averaged 30. He was number one in the league in steals. He led his team to number one seed. Like I said, they won the top 3 youngest teams in the league. He has no other all-star player on his team. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he has somebody that averaged 20 points on his team. And it's very impressive what he was able to do, man. And like, one of the main reasons why I didn't want Jokic to win is because the precedent is sense, like the exclusivity you put on his name, you put on his reputation. Like you just shot him way up the rankings of all time people. Like only a few people was able to win 3 MVPs in 4 years. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they kind of like I also feel like Embiid deserved it last year, but some people feel like, oh, Jokic should have won it last year, so we already know he's going to win it this year, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like they didn't want to give it to him last year because they didn't want to put him on that certain ilk. Like the last person that only win 3 in a row was Larry Bird, I believe. Maybe Jordan won 3 in a row, but I know for sure Larry Bird won 3 in a row. And I don't feel like they wanted to set them precedents to make him like that great all time. But it's like y'all basically did the same thing by making him win 3 and 4 years. I don't understand that. And it's not like, he doesn't deserve it per se. I just feel like SGA deserved it more. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? The numbers are great, like I said, but it's like he wasn't dominant to that degree, in my opinion. And then on defense, he's not really a factor. Like he's not horrible, he's not bad, but he's not a factor on defense. SGA is a factor on defense. So I gave the nod to SGA. And like I said, the lack of help around him. Not lack of help. They have a good team, but nobody looks at that roster and feel like, oh, yeah, this is the number one seed written all over it. Nobody says that. Nobody thought that. Nobody still would say that. But that's what happened. And SGA led the league in 30-point games. Well, one of the few people that had 50, 30-point games in the season in NBA history. He was top 3 in scoring. He was number 1 in steals. Led his team to the number 1 seed. I feel like he should have won. So that's my 2 cents. SGA should have won, in my opinion. So Shaq was actually right. Now, this is where I feel like Shannon Sharp got into some trouble and where he was pretty weird. Like, for him to just automatically go to, oh, Shaq being jealous, and Shaq, like, when Shaq said nothing about me versus him, nothing. Shaq made an argument for SGA. And in the middle of doing that, he acknowledged that, yeah, there's no shots towards Jokic. I feel like Jokic is a great player. Nothing against him, but I feel like SGA should have won this year. It wasn't about Jokic not being good, or I don't like Jokic, or he's having too much success, and I'm going to try to use my platform to knock him down a little bit because people are saying he's too good. That wasn't what it was. Shaq acknowledges Jokic is the best big in the world. He acknowledges that he's one of the greatest bigs of all time. He gives Jokic props all the time. So for Shannon to just ignore Shaq's fundamental argument and the factual, statistical arguments he was making for SGA, and to just completely just say, oh no, he was just jealous, and Shaq, you didn't get the most out of your career, and blah blah blah. Like, that was totally uncalled for Shannon to do that. Like, totally. Like, when they first brought it up, I was listening very closely just to hear, like, why did he say this? Like, what made him say this? And it's crazy to me because when I listen back, Shannon, like, didn't even make, I don't think he said one thing about the point that Shaq was making. Like, he didn't mention none of the points Shaq made about why he didn't feel like Jokic didn't deserve it over SGA. He didn't make none of the points for SGA, like, out of Shaq's mouth. He just went strictly and straight to, this is jealous. I thought this is jealousy. And then he started talking about Shaq personally, like, yeah, because we all know Shaq should have been on the GOAT. Why Shaq not on the GOAT list? And he supposed to be higher ranked all the time. That's all, it's his fault. And blah, blah, blah. He was lazy, blah, blah, blah. Even if Shaq admitted some of this stuff himself, which he did, he felt like he said he didn't work as hard as he could have, he should have, all that. And I agree with that. We all can see that he probably didn't put in much work as he could have, but I don't mean he didn't work hard. That don't mean he was lazy. And the man was 7 foot, 300 pounds. Like, to do what he did for as long as he did it, I don't think you could be lazy and do that. I don't care how gifted you are, how blessed you are physically. Like, come on now. Lazy, that was strong. And somebody that we all done seen have put on so many different hats, not only, as an athlete, but as just in life. Like, we see this man on every other commercial. We see this man, investing in so many different businesses. He's here, he's there. I mean, I don't really associate Shaq with lazy when it comes to, like, you know what I'm saying? And this is, like I said, this is post, post career. This is post basketball career I'm speaking of, and obviously Shannon was talking more of his professional basketball career, so I get it. That's not apples to apples, but like I said, even on the court when he was a professional athlete, did he maximize himself? No, but to call him lazy and all that kind of stuff, say he's jealous and all that, that was absurd. And another thing, Shaq was better than Jokic. I don't know who thinks is other than that, but that's what I mean when this era and the stats and people like Shannon who just talk about stats and shit like that. It's like it dilutes what's actually real. It dilutes the real reality of the world and what's really going on. Jokic could not do nothing with Shaq. Nothing with Shaq. And Shaq could do something with Jokic on defense, for sure. He couldn't do nothing with Shaq in their prime versus each other. I'm gonna put that out there and make that clear. If Shaq was in this era, Shaq would be averaging about 5-6 assists. Shaq was a great passer. Great passer. Underrated passer. He could handle the ball. The only thing he couldn't do was shoot from the outside. But I'm pretty sure if he was in this era, he probably would have been trying to develop a jumper, because seeing that was basically what's required in this era. He might have did it, but even if he didn't do it, he still would have been dominant doing what he do. And nobody would have been able to stop him. And how can you look? Think about how he was playing back then, y'all. How many fouls? It would not be enough people on the court for you to play against this guy. The way they call it fouls today in today's era, nobody will be able to check this man. It's definitely not Jokic. So why would he have to be jealous of Jokic? Tell Jokic to get his rings up. My man Shaq got 4 rings, 3 Finals MVPs. Not no MVPs, Finals MVPs. And it's another thing, Shannon. Oh, I can't put you in the GOAT conversation. You don't got more than 1 MVP. That's some bullshit-ass, dumbass media narrative argument they try to use just so they can exclude certain people that they don't want in that argument. They're just going to make a blanket statement like that, but not say nothing about the details. Not saying nothing about the reason Shaq, a main reason why Shaq only got 1 is because he had Kobe on his damn team, you dummy. He had another elite top 5, top 3 player in the world on his team, you idiots, who was averaging 25 plus. So obviously the numbers, he's not going to have but so many dominant numbers when you have another dominant player on your team, and that go the same for Kobe. How could Kobe win another MVP when he had Shaq on his team? It wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to happen. And it's a give and a take. Obviously, when you got somebody that great on your team, you better win, and we was winning. We won almost every year back then, the Lakers. When Shaq and Kobe was together in their prime, we won. So we sacrifice individual awards for winning. Now Jokic has won both. He's won an MVP and he won a finals. And he won a finals MVP. So commend him for that. But you have won finals, bro. We was doing that shit for rings, not for individual awards. You don't think Shaq would have been on if he had his own team during that time when he was in his prime with the Lakers? You don't think if he was on another team without Kobe, he'd have been winning MVP? You don't think he'd have been averaging like 35 and just dragging the whole world with nothing to get in his way from shooting way more shots and all that? He'd have been averaging 35. He'd have been winning MVPs. If Kobe didn't have Shaq, young Kobe, he'd have been averaging 30 plus. He probably been winning MVPs. Would they have been winning championships? Maybe not. But they'd have been winning MVPs. But they probably would have had the rings. But then people like Shannon Sharp be like, oh, they was doing all that winning, but they was doing the winning MVPs. But did they win anything? They didn't win nothing though, right? No, they didn't. So they'd have been using that against them though, if that would have been the case. If Kobe and Shaq would have been winning MVPs and not finals back then, now in 2024, they'd be like, oh, they got the MVP, but how many rings do they have? They would be excluding them for that. And people be like, but look, they didn't play with other all-stars and all-NBA players like LeBron did. They didn't go join D-Wade and play with Chris Bosh. And they'd be like, well, who fault is that? That's their fault. That's their fault. They wanted to try to prove they can win with no other star players. Blah, blah, blah. It was nothing like no matter what, basically my point is, no matter what, they would try to flip the narrative to make it seem like that whatever they did wasn't good enough. Because it doesn't go with the narrative they want to paint. And this is the last thing I want to say, man. Your boy Shannon Sharp, you see why he ain't come back too tough on Shaq? Because you know the key thing Shaq said in this process that I want everybody to pay attention to. When Shaq made his initial response, remember Shaq's initial response was a Instagram post to Shannon Sharp. You know, he came out with the song, but the song was after he initially made his post. And I want to find this tweet right now, or I think was it a tweet on Instagram? I think it was an Instagram. And yeah, it was an Instagram post that Shaq posted to Shannon Sharp, and that's what kicked it off. But during that post, Shaq said something very interesting that I think we all need to focus on. And what that was he told Shannon Sharp, remember, I know what you did to get where you are. Now, I'm just gonna read the whole post real quick just so I can, get everything on wax. This is Shaq Instagram responding to Shannon Sharp. He said, you took me sticking up for @Shay Gilgeous Alexander as jealousy of Joker. Shows how smart you are and how you say anything to get clicks. So here's some clickbait for you. If you ain't ranked in the top 10 of your profession, then you can't speak on me. Don't forget, I know what you did to get where you at. Don't forget, I know what you did to get where you at. Boom. I'm not even gonna read the rest. That's what I wanted to get to. Like I said, I didn't want to take too much of your time. I already went, longer than I wanted to. Shannon, we know you're a puppet. We know that you tweeted the 3 best basketball players of all time is God, Jordan, and Kobe. We know you tweeted that. We know that since that tweet to now, you have people in front of Kobe that played before Kobe that never did anything else on the basketball court. Meaning, people somehow magically got in front of Kobe after you tweeted that, but after they played. So they didn't do nothing else to improve their resume, but somehow they're in front of Kobe now. Somehow it was LeBron, it was God, Jordan, and Kobe. Now Kobe's barely in the top 10 for you. We know you're paid. We know you're a puppet. And that's what Shaq is saying. We know you started going to the finals game in South Beach for the Heat. We know when you started linking up with Braun. We know when you got with Clutch Sports. We're not stupid. And Shaq not stupid either. And nobody fooled. Like, once you get to try to really fake like you really some type of dude with like a real opinion, like a real, like, oh, I'm really like this guy with a great opinion and a great morals and a reputation. So this is why I'm known for who I am, and this is how I got where I am. And you start talking like that, people gonna do shit like that. They're gonna be like, Shannon, calm your ass down if I really let people know who you really are. Because people don't like that shit because you're starting because it's like you're phony. And people already know you phony and they let you live. But it's like once you try to act like you're less phony than what you really are, people gonna get turned off by that shit. Somebody like SHAQ that know the real, they getting turned off by that. And they're gonna call you out for it, Shannon. So all that goat James, all that foolery you be talking about, all that flawed shit you be saying, that's flugazy. You better stay humble and stay in that little character with that shit, dude. Don't try to get serious and talk that bullshit. Because somebody like SHAQ gonna put you right in your goddamn place. And he gonna expose your ass, boy. 2024, y'all. I'm telling you, it's the year of exposure. Exposure! Everybody getting exposed, man. And if you ain't real and you flawed, hey, you better tread lightly. You better tread real carefully. You hear me? Because, hey, we all see what's going on. Everybody getting exposed. And if you not real, you will get exposed. Shout out to Cat Williams, man. You started it off, man. The 2024, nobody will ever forget this year, man. This year going down in history. SHAQ calls out Shannon Sharpe for criticizing his critique of Jokic winning the MVP. Like I said, I feel like SGA deserved it. I feel like, SHAQ's criticism was valid. And Shannon rebuttal to SHAQ, calling him jealous and all that, and just making it personal between SHAQ was totally uncalled for and goofy to me. And Shannon got what he deserved in this situation. SHAQ put his ass in his place, and he got what he deserved because he had no right to go at SHAQ personally like that. You know what I'm saying? Even if that's your opinion, you believe it, even if it's true, even if SHAQ gave evidence to support that it might be true, for you to go at him and attack him personally like that and keep calling him lazy, and that was real direct and real personal, Shannon. And if people get personal with you, I don't think you would like that, sir. So that's my opinion on the Shannon Sharpe fiasco. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with your boy Rico. Like, comment, subscribe. I love y'all feedback in the comment section, man. Definitely give me your feedback in the comment section. I'm going to be giving y'all some more videos soon, so be on the lookout for that. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Once again, it's your boy Rico. Make it y'all best time till next time. Y'all know what it is. Peace.